guys, Ricky here with the Backpacking Scouter. We're up and going early today, day 2, our Colorado Trail Thru hike. Last night was a good night. It got a little chilly, but not too bad. I think it was around 41 degrees on my thermometer when I got up this morning around 5:30. But slept all right. Willa did okay for her first night. Typically, she's a little challenging the first night or two. She doesn't like all the sounds that she hears from the tent. Can't find the sources. But last night she did all right. We both slept pretty decent. Got up this morning, had a little breakfast, broke camp, and we were up on trail by 7 a.m. this morning. So got a good start. So far, I'll definitely say segment 6 definitely impresses. The beauty out here is just amazing. Will it come? Plenty of water sites so far with all the rain that we've been getting this year. It's definitely easy to have access to water. So totally up to you on how much you carry, but I would say a liter, 2 liters at a time is probably plenty, because so far we've crossed plenty of streams along the way. Also tons of wildflowers, just beautiful. With as much rain as we've gotten this year, they're just everywhere. Everything's so green. It's just amazing. Beauty out here is awesome. But we looked at the map. We're gonna shoot to try to get a bit of miles in today. Yesterday, as I mentioned, we got about 4.5 in from the trail. So it was a good start. Today will be our first day of trying to hit 15 plus or so. So see how it goes.
we made it to camp, and we are whooped. We started off wanting to get a little bit of miles in today, and we certainly did that. We ended the day with 23 miles. Definitely didn't expect to do that. Our original intent was to do 14 or 15 throughout the day, but we were just making so much good time this morning that we ended up, at lunch, we had already made about 12 miles, I think it was, somewhere between 12 and 13. And that was at 11 o'clock when we stopped for lunch. So we stopped, took a break. We knew we were a little tired, at lunch, but we still felt like, our options were, either to stop at like 1 o'clock for the day and end somewhere around that 15-mile mark, or was to go ahead and decide to go and summit the next section of the trail, which was 3 miles of just straight up. I think we probably did 1,500, 1,700 foot of elevation gain in that 3 miles. And so at the time we both were like, we think we've got the energy, we can do this. And I had looked on the Far Out app, and we had, it looked like there was some potential stream options after we, crossed the summit, because we didn't want to stay up at the higher elevations and stuff. So we were like, well, we should be able to get up to the summit and then go down about, it was supposed to be about 3 or 4 miles down until we reached what looked to be a water source on the map. The challenge was it wasn't a waypoint, and so there wasn't any data on it, and nobody had mentioned anything about whether or not it was flowing or not. And so we took the chance, we took the risk. Definitely those 3 miles up kicked my butt. I know it kicked Willa's butt a little bit. She and I were pretty slow going on that last mile up, but we made it, and we got to the top. But then unfortunately, when we got to the next area where the water source was supposed to be, we found out that it was dried up. It was a seasonal stream, and it was already dry, and there was already somebody staying in the areas there for the night. And so we had to keep going and had to push on forward, and luckily we ended up finding a beautiful campsite here, just about another mile or so up the trail. But it included some more uphill, which was pretty brutal, to the point where when I got to camp, the first thing I did was just lay down. I am sore. I knew along this trip that I was going to have aches and pains along the way, but today we definitely pushed ourselves a little much. And on that topic, one of the things I would give some advice to folks is, if you're coming to do the Colorado Trail, especially if you're not, from altitude or some of those areas, take it easy, on your first days that you come in. For myself, and Liam, we both, we live in Conifer, and so we live at 8,300 foot. And so over the last 3 months or so, I've done a lot of shakedowns and stuff to get ready for the trip. And so I knew that I was capable of doing it. It just, I'm sore. But I would definitely recommend, the first few 3-4 days or so that you're doing it, take it easy, especially if you're from a lower altitude elevation. I don't think it needs to be an option. You definitely, should take it easy. Also, so every night, or every day, I'm going to try to, give you guys a little bit aspects of the different things that went into the planning that we've done over the last year or so for this trip. And so I would like to, tell you guys a little bit about what I did to physically get ready for the trip, on this one. And so I basically, about 3.5 months ago, put myself on a pretty strict diet. No sugars, no carbs. I also started putting myself on a decent exercise regimen. I started walking at first, just basically walking in my neighborhood, making trips, walking, hiking some of the trails there around my house. Then I would do some backpacking trips with some of my friends. And then I eventually even got to where I was starting to run some. So I did quite a bit in the last 3+ months to get myself ready, because I knew I was going to be chasing an 18-year-old who's in the best shape of his life along the trail. So I think it did real well. I lost 30 pounds or so, which I think helped a lot for stuff. And then I managed to really work in the last year to try to lighten a lot of my pack weight. I got my pack weight down. The last big trip I've ever done was Philmont with the Scout Troop. About 2 years ago, we did 8 days. And then at that time, going with Scouts, I always pack a little on the extra side just to make sure that, in case they were to forget something. And I was about 55 pounds when I packed at that time. I managed in the last year to really work things out and figure things out to where we were down to 37, 38 pounds for my pack. And that's counting 6 days worth of food and 2, liters of water being a given time that I had in my pack. So that's really helped. I think losing the 30 pounds also helped my ankles and my knees and other parts and stuff be ready to be able to carry the 37-pound backpack. So it just really helped me get ready for this. So I'm still really nervous about how 22 days on the trail is going to be for a 44-year-old guy, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm super excited. It's been amazing. As I mentioned earlier today, man, segment 6 just didn't play. It was amazing. The beauty and then just the views that we would have along the way was just breathtaking. So hopefully you enjoyed some of that today and enjoyed things there as we go along. I'll show you a little bit of the camp here as we end the day on today's day. And we're going to go crawl in the tent and try to get some sleep because tomorrow's going to be another early start, but hopefully we won't have to do anywhere near the mileage that we did today tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be a little bit of break for us. Outside of that, thanks for listening. Glad you guys are following us along on the trail. Like and subscribe if you want to keep following us for each of the day's videos. I will try to post these as soon as I get cell service in one of the towns here soon. And everybody have a great day. See you guys on the trail. Happy trails.